Hey, friend, welcome back to the Don't Wing It podcast. I'm your host, Ren Robbins, and I'm excited to jump in today. And I want to start with a story. So, my son went to farm camp last week, and they had horses and goats and peacocks and a big, huge sand pit that they could just dig in. And for any kind of young boy, that is like the dream. And so he created this crew with a few other boys he met and one friend that he knew. And so the director told them that underneath the sand pit, there was this big, huge door that if they dug deep enough that they could find this door. And so, of course, they created with their imagination what was behind the door and all the things. And so they started digging any spare moment they had when they weren't jumping in the lake with the rope and when they weren't feeding the chickens or the goats or whatever, or riding horses. They were digging. So I want to tell you a little bit more about that story in a minute. So just hang on to that. But I want to ask you if this has ever been you. Okay. Has this ever been you when you reach out, you secure someone coming on your show, you secured the interview with the guest, and you forgot to really give them any information about it? You haven't told them if it's going to be on video or audio or both, or you have it scheduled, but then that's it. And have you ever received an email back from them saying, hey, a couple more questions about the interview, which is fine. It's all happened to us before. But if that has ever been you, I want you to keep listening. Okay. Also, has this ever been you when you have a reach out and after you have the interview, they come back and have more questions about, well, when is it going to be aired? Can you give me a graphic that I can share? What's the link to listen? If you've ever received an email back about that, then I want you to keep listening. Okay, it's all happened to us before, but keep listening. Have you ever been frustrated because your guest did not share that episode on social media? Yeah. Okay. So I want you to ask yourself that. And then maybe you want to share, you want to have a good impression, but you're just really not sure how. Okay. So today I'm going to share with you reasons why making a good impression, why wowing your guest on your interview is important. It is a must do. Okay. So let's jump in. Okay. So, number one, if you give a good impression before the interview starts, that guest is more likely to refer your podcast to others. Or when you ask, hey, do you know of anyone else that would be a great fit for my show? They are more able to share their contacts with you and say, oh, yeah, here's a name of somebody. Reach out, tell them I sent you. That goes a super long way. Okay. So that's one way why it's important to wow your guest. Number two, okay. If you want to wow your guest on an interview, you want to be able to stand out. You want them to share about the episode after it comes out. You want to be able to stand out and to be as warm and inviting as you can so that you stand out, so that they have a great impression from you, so that they will share the episode. Okay, so that's number two. Number three is you want to have a sweet taste in their mouth so that it will guarantee that they will now be connected with you. You have a new connection that you can collaborate with down the road. And it's really important. So what I want to leave you with today is just like that director of the camp told them that there was a door underneath. And just like those boys could not spend their whole time digging at farm camp, they had other things to do, just like they didn't have time or didn't want to spend their time digging to try to find that door. I don't want you to have to spend the time of research, of trial and error, and see what works and how to wow your guest. And so, of course, I'm here to help. so that you don't have to wing it. And so I have created my first ever jam packed full of value podcast masterclass. And it is coming up at the end of this month on June the 30th at noon Central. It's going to be a whole hour long. You're going to get your questions answered. You will have time to ask questions, and you are going to do these three things. After this masterclass, you are going to be able to make an irresistible guest request. Very important. You will be able to wow your guest and host an incredible interview. And then number three, you are going to have follow up that I'll show you how to follow up that will leave your guest totally impressed, ready to share your name with others, ready to share about the episode. Okay. So let me tell you this, if you have ever considered having someone on your show as an interview, as having a guest on your show, even if it's once a month, even if it's once in a while, you need this masterclass. So if you want more information, I want you to go to my website and go to the shop, and it's renrobbins.com/shop. And you will see the podcast masterclass listed there and all of the details of the cost, of how long you will get a replay if you cannot enjoy it live. And you will go take your podcast guest from owl to wowing your podcast guest. Okay. So I want you to do that. And I want you to realize that you don't have to do all the digging, just like my son and his friends were wanting to do. You can have it given to you by me, and I'm excited to jump in. And remember, I'm here to help because life's too short to just wing it. Hey, I'll see you next time. Bye, friend.